Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon everyone. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologi Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Ismail, Vice Chancellor Universiti Teknologi Malaysia UTM, Yang berusaha Mr. Czarif Chaif Abdullah, Senior Director Business Advisory and Support SME Corp Malaysia, Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Shahruddin Mahzan Elias Muhammad Zain, Dean Center for Graduate Studies, Universiti Tun Hussein Malaysia, senior officers, lecturers, students, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for today's webinar program, Odyssey 101 Graduated What's Next. My name is Muhammad Shahid Anwar Hamzah and I'm the Master of Ceremony for today's event. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, especially for our invited panels and all the participants that currently watching live through our YouTube channel, UTHM TV. We appreciate that you are taking time off your busy schedules to join us today. We hope you will learn a lot today. We have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. Before we start our webinar session, may I invite everyone to invoke the Almighty. Al-Fatiha. Amin, Amin Ya Rabbal Alamin. Odyssey 101 Graduate What's Next is a basic career program in the form of a forum session. This program is held specifically for postgraduate students who are preparing to enter the world of work and must know some important skills that the student must have first. The activities are carried out based on intellectual discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin this program, we are pleased to have our beloved Dean, Center for Graduate Studies, Universiti Tun Hussein Malaysia, yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Shahruddin Mahzan Elias Muhammad Zain to deliver the opening remarks. Please welcome, Prof.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Shahid, as the MC for today. To our special and distinguished guests, Yang Bahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologi Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Ismail, Vice Chancellor of UTM, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Yang berusaha Mr. Czarif Abdullah, Senior Director Business Advisory and Support SME Corp Malaysia. Senior University Officials, academic staffs, all participants and ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar Odyssey 101 Graduated What's Next. So Alhamdulillah, I would like to initially take this opportunity to express our gratitude to Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to gather in today Odyssey 101 Graduated What's Next webinar series. So I would like to express our gratitude to our honorable guest, Professor Datuk TS, Dr. Ahmad Fauzi bin Ismail, and also Mr. Czarif Abdullah from SME Corp, for their invaluable time, despite busy schedule, able to spend some time with us in delivering speeches and also sharing their opinions today. Thank you, Prof, Datuk, and Mr. Czarif. So I would like also to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and thanks to the organizers, the Graduate Student Association, and also the Center for Graduate Studies UTHM, as well as other parties involved for their effort and time in making this webinar a success. So ladies and gentlemen, since March 2020, the world has been struck by the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. So our beloved country, Malaysia, is also badly affected by this pandemic. So resulting in worse economic downturn since 1998. So the implementation of variation movement control orders, MCO, in order to curb the spreading of the disease has contributed to the economic crisis, which since many job retrenchment, businesses has to shut down, which further deteriorate the unemployment rate to its highest rate for decades. So among those affected are the university graduates, which are now facing more difficulties in finding jobs, where the competition is becoming tremendously high. So however, the government of Malaysia has since introduced various initiatives to assist and provide the financial assistance for Malaysians to rebuild the nation. So among the initiative introduced is devoted in promoting graduate employability through Penjana KPT grant scheme. So every year, all students from the academic institution contemplate their future, which will them going to be next year and around. So in general, most of the graduates will progress their career in Malaysia job market. So however, in an extremely competitive job nowadays, it is necessary for them to prepare mentally and physically, as current market may be quite challenging. So the urgency to work enable them to assist family to repay the debts, to settle other financial commitments and many other reasons. So ladies and gentlemen, UTHM through GSA and also CGS always encourage its postgraduate students to further strengthen their skills on top of what they have gained during their undergraduate times. So the motivation of pursuing postgraduate studies should be clear in the first place. So we understood that some students might be further their studies as an escapism due to a job outside. So however, were you simply following the crowd's lead? Did you feel compelled to acquire more sophisticated skills in order to remain competitive in the employment market? So are you merely buying time till you determine what truly you want to do next? It is always a topic that as old as higher education itself. So what is most important when it comes to landing job? Does a higher degree guarantee you a job, or does prior work experience matter more? So there is no conclusive solution to these questions. So the decision to continue studying or to seek for employment upon graduation is entirely up to you. So I do believe that this webinar could provide you some opportunity for all the participants, the venue of exchanging ideas. So therefore, I would like to encourage all participants to take full advantage of the vastly experience from our respective panels to enlighten some of your motivations. Ask them questions as many as you wish. So finally, I wish you all a very fruitful discussion and a successful webinar. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Syahrudin Mahzan alias Muhammad Zain for those wonderful remarks. It seems like everyone looks very excited. We can see participants are actively giving response and comment at the YouTube live chat streaming box. Keep on promoting to the event to your friends so that more people can enjoy our fruitful discussion after this. So ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I will pass the baton to our lovely moderator for today, Ms. Nurliana Abdul Rahim, to conduct the webinar forum session today on the topic Graduated, What's Next? The stage is yours.
Alright, thank you Syahir Anwar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to welcome you to our webinar 101 Graduated, What's Next? For your information, Odyssey 101 is a series of a program organized by the Graduate Student Association GSA and Center for Graduate Studies CGS, Universiti Tun Hussein on Malaysia, UTHM. The series began last week and will provide information for postgraduate students beginning with their responsibilities as students and ending with their preparation to move to the next stage of employment. Thank you everyone who joined us live in YouTube UTHM TV, and don't forget to subscribe so you can leave comments during the Q&A session later. This is an extremely interesting issue as many grads or future graduates may be considering their postgraduate plan. So some graduates may intend to continue their studies by pursuing a PhD or obtaining another master's degree, while others may want to enter the job market. Although the topic sounds serious and nerve-wracking as I am right now, we attempt to make it as informative as possible. Additionally, this webinar will be done in a relaxed environment, not as a serious attending a keynote session. And we will conduct both in English and Malay. Because 因为我不会说华语. I'm so sorry, Mr. Chai. I've tried my best. Perhaps some of the viewers right now are not familiar with our panelists today, so allow me to provide a very little overview about our panelists. Yang berbahagia Professor Datuk Teknologi Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Ismail is the Vice Chancellor of Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. Graduated from UTM with a Bachelor of Engineering in Petroleum and Master of Engineering in Chemical Engineering. He was awarded a Commonwealth Academic Staff Scholarship to pursue a PhD in Chemical and Process Engineering at University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, United Kingdom, specializing in membrane technology. He completed his PhD in less than 3 years. He has published over 1,000 articles in referred journals and more than 50 book chapters. He authored and co-authored 6 books and edited or co-edited another 11. He has 9 granted patents and 21 pending patents. He has successfully supervised over 70 PhD and 50 master students, as well as 10 postdoctoral fellows. His H-index is currently 87 in Scopus and 83 in Web of Science. His publication received over 60,000 citations in Scopus and Web of Science. He received more than 130 awards, both in national and international level. So we move to our second panelist. Mr. Czarif Abdullah is the Senior Director Business Advisory and Support System of SME Corp Malaysia. Attended Universiti Putra Malaysia, UPM, and obtained a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering. He holds a Master of Business Administration MBA from Putra Business School, UPM specialization in corporate governance with the Malaysian Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators MAICSA graduateship. He gained operating experience while working for private companies involved in metal products manufacturing, construction, engineering project, air conditioning and mechanical ventilation, and building facilities maintenance. Since 2006, he has been directly involved in a variety of financial and technological support development programs for Malaysian SMEs at all levels. He is also the recipient of the Chairman's Award, which resulted in his admission to the prestigious Stanford Business School Leading Change and Organization Renewal Program, LCOR. He is appointed as the Head Business Counselor, offering excellent guidance to develop competitive, innovative, and resilient SMEs in Malaysia, after being awarded the Best Business Counselor and Best Counselor Trainer by Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. Ladies and gentlemen, it is such incredible because we have such a very versatile panelist today. You are so fortunate to be able to watch us live today. So with me today, we are honored to have Yang berbahagia Professor Datuk Teknologi Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Ismail, Vice Chancellor of UTM, and also Yang berbahagia Mr. Czarif Abdullah, Senior Director Business Advisory and Support System SME Corp Malaysia. Welcome to UTHM virtually, Prof, Datuk and Mr. Chai. So how's everyone doing? Sehat-sehat semuanya?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, okay.
Alhamdulillah, sehat. Sudah fully vaccinated semua?
Yeah, sudah fully vaccinated. Okay, before we go further, I would like to share some questions from during we held the pre-registration session. for this webinar. So one of the top question being asked by the registrants. Okay, in this pandemic situation, for the graduates, which is the best option? Is it further study or getting job into industry? This is no right or wrong for answering this. So first, I want to hear point of view from Professor Datuk.
Yeah, thank you, Liana. Thank you, UTM. Thank you, UTHM for inviting me. I'm honored to be here. Actually, the question is very interesting. I kind of have had some experience when I graduated in 1997. The economy at that time is not really, it's not pandemic, but the economic downturn at that time, 1997. I see majority of the graduate at that time were jobless, and if they were given a scholarship, like a friend of mine from Petronas, they were only given about 500 ringgit per month. And some of them worked there for 1 year or 2 years at a time. So the question is kind of have some similarity, but nowadays it's even severe because of this pandemic COVID-19. At that time, even though the economy downturn, but we can do many other things if we are diligent enough. But nowadays, even though we are diligent, we couldn't, do whatever we wish to do. But at that time, I'm among the first person in my class, petroleum engineering, was employed, but not in petroleum engineering. Because at that time, petroleum engineering engineers were only given, majority of them, 500 ringgit, right? So for some reason, alhamdulillah, I was offered a job at a very small company. So I went there, I worked there, my first job, but only lasts about 6 months. Because after that, I think working in industry, at that time, I'm dealing a lot with another big industry like Petronas, like other oil and gas industry. We are serving, we are selling product to the industry, to the institution, and so forth. I meet up with one of the colleagues in petroleum industry at that time. Masih ada orang tu, yeah. I'm really grateful to him. He said, Fauzi, you have a talent. Why don't you continue? Why don't you continue? Ambil master ke apa ke? At that time, Malaysia just at that era gas. So I balik semayang, tengok, minta panduan, tengok. Oh, and he even introduced me to my sifu, but now just passed away a few months ago. So I met him 3 times. Kali kedua, okay lah ini. Kali ketiga, I resign. Datang jumpa dia, you dah resign? Okay. Terus jamik. So what I'm trying to say here is, the decision is yours. Right? As Liana said, there's no right, no wrong. But you need to always minta panduan daripada Allah SWT. Right? Ini yang saya buat. Saya suka kerja. And then saya masuk balik, I became a research assistant. Can you imagine that? Research assistant, tak pernah ada cita-cita apa-apa, Allah bagi saya sebagai Chancellor sekarang ini. Kerana kita sentiasa berdoa. But we have to do the very best of our ability. Bukannya jadi orang yang berbau busuk. Business as usual, bau. So the most important thing is sekarang you nak pergi kerja ke, find the job that suit you. You tak nak lebih buat kerja, alah pasal tak ada kerja aku saja kerja. Itu tak adil namanya. Tak adil, kita takut. I takut personally. Rezeki yang kita tak dapat tu sebagai orang yang ada agama, keberkatan tu kita risau. Whatever you do, gaji tak kisah banyak mana, tetapi kita kena bagi yang terbaik. We have to give our very best. InsyaAllah, the resultant tu nanti, keberkatan tu nanti berpanjangan. Dan satu hari nanti, who knows, one of you outside will becoming somebody like Mr. Czarif. Who knows? No one knows. Allah tahu. Allah menyusun segalanya. Tetapi kalau kita tak berusaha, asyik berbau saja, we go nowhere. Itu saja, Liana.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Datuk. It's such inspiring to me and maybe to all of our viewers. Okay, sekarang kita nak dengar pula pendapat daripada Mr. Chai pula, from your point of view regarding the question earlier.
Thank you, Liana. I think first question actually sudah heavy weight Saya risau nanti soalan 2 dan 3 ni. Actually, I totally agree with Prof Datuk yang tadi cakap tu lah. Kita kena sentiasa berusaha, do our best, whatever our choices. Dan insya-Allah kita sentiasa murah rezeki lah. Sama dengan Prof Dr. Kita ni graduate 90-an. Saya actually graduate 99, Prof Datuk. So the aftermath of the 1997 Asian financial crisis lah.
Oh, saya minta maaf. Saya graduate 1989, sorry.
Nanti.
Saya graduate 1989. Tapi biasalah 89, 99 dia punya ekonomi kan, every 10 years macam itu kan. Oh, sorry.
So, I graduate memang betul-betul 99 during the Asian economic crisis. I remember memanglah among kita ni yang nak graduate ni semua rasa semua dengar cakap luar tu tak ada kerja. And then so we are a bit uncertain lah during that time. Tapi alhamdulillah, I think maybe our degree actually our degree is in technology, engineering and all that. Sama dengan Prof Datuk kebetulan. So my batch actually the mechanical engineering yang graduate the same batch ni, saya actually graduate bersama dengan senior saya. I'm the first batch yang habiskan my degree in 3 years. Saya actually graduate together with my senior. Lagi banyak competition lah kira. But alhamdulillah, my entire batch semua dapat kerja dalam masing-masing dalam masa 3 bulan hingga 6 bulan. Because the demand for graduates with science and technology ni, dia akan sentiasa ada. My advice cuma kalau jangan pilih kerja lah. I think one of my advice that I get from my seniors and all that when I step out from the university is actually bachelor degree ni, degree ni is actually a general degree. The key thing is do you like what you are going to do? So actually this first question ni, the answer lies within yourself. Do you want to continue your studies? Are you interested in a certain topic that you have learned during your bachelor degree ni that you feel that you want to do further studies? Then by all means do continue your studies. But if your interest is to quickly come out and work, like myself, I want to gain operation experience, then saya kerja. Then saya tak pilih kerja. Satu pengalaman saya adalah yang tak pilih kerja ni, I think will open up a lot of options for you lah. Macam saya cakap lah, bila kadang-kala bila Tuhan bagi kita rezeki ni, kita sendiri pun kena terima dengan hati yang terbuka. Jangan pilih kerja. Because I think one of the advice that I memang pegang adalah I don't care. Saya pergi kilang besi, saya pergi construction, saya pergi maintenance, semua saya pergi. Because frankly, I just want to have operation experience. I just go for my interview. And then alhamdulillah masa tu saya pergi 5 interview, saya dapat 5 offer masa tu. So masa tu saya pilihlah kontrak. Kerana kontrak tu 2 tahun di KLIA. Masa tu KLIA, KL International Airport baru siap. So I was the facility maintenance engineer lah during the handover period daripada, I remember the main con daripada Japan and all that. So bila kontrak ni gaji dia tinggi sikit lah. Datuk, saya punya gaji 2008, so kira sangat tinggi lah pada masa tu banding dengan peer saya. Mungkin yang dapat 1008, 2003 kan. Saya dapat 2008 kerana saya punya adalah kontrak. Tapi like I said lah, I think that time my personal choice is I want to have operational experience because I know especially engineering field, you need to have a hands-on experience, then only you can actually have a better command of what you learn in the textbook and all that. So that time that was my choice. So I think the Liana, sorry if I cannot answer the question, but I think the answer lies with that person who asked. So the one who asked, you have to ask yourself, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in 3 years time or 5 years time? So if you foresee that you want to become expert in certain subject or discipline that you have studied during your degree, by all means go for your further studies. But if you want to have operation experience, you want to make full use of what you have learned during the university, then you should join the industry, because really as you practice it, it will actually confirm what you have learned from the university, from the textbook, and insyaAllah you will have even more opportunity then. Macam saya lah, saya actually join private sector. After 10 years, then saya baru join back the service. So, tapi alhamdulillah lah 2006, daripada grade 41 sampai sekarang saya jusasi. I think memang cepat lah banding dengan my senior punya experience. Tapi it's because saya ada industry punya operating experience lah. So that helps me a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys, what I want to say, we have heard from Professor Datuk and also Mr. Czarif, whatever you want to do, you just do and jangan ikut orang. Itu yang paling penting. Bila you buat sebab you ikut orang, nanti at one moment you akan rasa, akan capai satu tahap yang bila masa you tak suka buat perkara tu, and then you akan salahkan pula orang tu. So the better thing is, you have to think, you have to make decision, it's all your choice. Okay, so let us move to our next question. This is already start lah, our forum session. The idea is just kick start question from the audience. Okay, so the question is, what are the abilities necessary for enrollment into the worlds of career and the required mindset to develop character in order to handle the demands in 21st century career. So kiranya ialah apakah antara skill yang kita tahu, skill, soft skill and also mungkin generic skill yang diperlukan oleh graduan, dan juga mindset untuk menghadapi, as you know the situation right now with pandemic COVID-19. So Professor Datuk, it's your turn.
Ya, terima kasih. Another good question. For us to be employed, kalau kita pergi memohon pekerjaan, kita pergi syarikat ABC atau institusi ABC, we went for an interview, orang tanya, what do you know about our company? Terkeruk, kepala, mula tak sedap. Apa maksudnya tu? Maksudnya, we are not serious enough. Right? Itu digolongkan di bawah satu yang namanya adalah competency based. Kita kena competent enough. Maknanya, the general knowledge to me is also another competency. Kalau kita nak pergi rumah orang, kita tak tahu rumah tu alamat dekat mana, macam mana you nak jumpa? Orang ikut apa, orang nak you nak pergi tu pun orang tanya awak ni siapa? Dia pun tak kenal you. You tanya awak siapa? You pun tak kenal dia. You nak pergi bekerja dalam satu institusi, first You kena tahulah pasal interest itu. Maknanya our attitude. Ya, attitude kita kena betul lah. Okay, number one. Number two, also inilah maknanya kita kena kaji kalau company itu berkenaan dengan palm oil. Of course dia akan tanya, did you know anything about palm oil? You tahu tak Malaysia nombor berapa di dunia palm oil production? Tak tahu. You tahu tak compound, what kind of compound in palm oil? Tak tahu. Sudah. Kan? Company apa yang ada kat Malaysia ni selain pada you datang interview ni? Tak, semua tak tahu. Okay? Tak boleh ya. Jadi kita punya attitude kita, dan saya suka kat universiti ni, saya nak popularkan jati diri. Jati diri itu involve kita kena tahu dari segi saksiah kita ya. Tahu dari segi our culture, ya, agama kita. This is under identity kita. Kita kena tahu tu. Ya. Ini semuanya rubuh di bawah mindset awak kata tadi lah. Ini ya, kita tak tahu siapa nama agung kita, tak tahu nama Perdana Menteri, tak tahu nama Menteri Besar. You know, ironinya dia tak tahu siapa nama naib Chancellor Universiti dia. Dia tak tahu siapa nama dekan dia. So all in all, saya tak nak go to detail. So it's about the, semua kita nama kompetensi lah. Kalau kita nak jadi jurutera mechanical, apa kompetensi kita nak? Jurutera civil, apa kompetensi kita nak? Chemical dan sebagainya. Ya. Okay, kemudian human factor. Pergi interview, kita kemain ni ya, dia pergi interview macam ni. Dia macam ni. Macam mana orang nak ambil awak? Okay. Saya dah berpuluh orang, beratus orang interview orang. Student ke tak student ke? Cuba datang, maknanya benda-benda macam itulah. Ya, itu the human factor. Komunikasi. It doesn't mean that you can talk extremely well, you are good. It doesn't mean that you are fluent in English, you are good. Kenapa saya kata itu? Orang mesti marah kat saya. I've been attached to Imperial College, sepatutnya 9 bulan ya, I got a shift ni. Tapi saya pergi 3 bulan sebab anak saya kena balik sekolah. Di situ pun di Imperial College di London, I read a newspaper. Dia pun ada masalah. Mat Saleh, mata biru, ada masalah komunikasi. Tetapi, you tengok Jepun, you tengok China, you tengok Korea, you tengok Russia, dia cakap bahasa Inggeris. Sebaik awak ke, Liana? You are much better. Apa? So, this is the thing that I would like to align sikit. The most important thing is you punya ni. Ya? Kalau you nak bekerja, do your very best. Kalau you nak kerja tu nak pergi interview, get prepared to the very best. Kaji sampai diorang cacing pasal company tu dan operasi tu. Ini nak pergi tanya pasal company tu, dia tak tahu. Banyak ni Encik Czarif lagi tahulah bab macam ni kan. Tu serahlah kepada orang kat industri tu. Pembawang lebih pun susah nak saya.
Okay.
Alright, thank you Prof Datuk. So, I rasa semua orang jelas banyak poin yang diberikan oleh Prof Datuk tadi. Kaji company, your attitude, jati diri is the most important, human factor and also communication. So, kita nak dengar pula wakil daripada industri sendiri mengenai the skills and the mindset yang diperlukan oleh graduan. So, Mr. Czarif.
Okay, thank you, Liana. I think Prof has touched a lot on the attitude part lah, the mindset and all that. I think definitely when you go for interview, please don't just okay dapat appointment pukul berapa just pergi je. Definitely you need to prepare and prepare. If you don't prepare, memang the chances of you getting employed to will definitely be lower lah compared to those yang sudah prepare. So I think two words you stand out lah during the interview. Your attitude and also your aptitude will be the two key most important factors when the interviewers are talking to you. Like the first question, I think I couldn't agree more that about the part where you always do your best in what you're doing. So during the very short, 5 minutes, 15 minutes interview, you have to display your ability that you are going to do your best and you are willing to go the extra mile. That makes you stand out from the other candidate lah. Itu memang to me that is the most important thing you must display. That's why you have to prepare, macam tadi Prof kata, you kena baca semua. And then lagi satu, since kita ni already in I would say digital era lah, so because kita semua ni ada digital footprint in the internet and all that, so I know memang banyak big organisation when you go for interview, actually dia pun sudah prepare some information yang dia boleh dapat from the internet about you. Macam your LinkedIn account ke, atau you ada Instagram ke apa, mereka ada sebenarnya. So be careful of your this digital footprint lah that you have in the internet. Kadang-kala if you throw you a curveball, dia akan tanya something that you put in your Instagram ke or whatever you put in your Facebook yang kontroversi sikit. Lepas tu you will get caught off guard lah. Saya memang pernah nampak all this because say what you like, it does represent you maybe at the particular point of time. So please take care of your digital footprint lah. Ini adalah zaman kita Datuk dengan saya, kita tak ada kita ICQ aja, computer lab itu semua tak ada save punya. So tapi sekarang lain sikit. Whatever you say sudah 10 tahun pun ada lagi. The of a moment and all that. So you have to take care of that lah. And then lagi satu, I just want to advise ni, I think all of us, all the one who join here is all graduate, yeah. Okay, graduate means you are the future of this country lah. Okay, awak ada harapan negara kita. So you have a responsibility to carry yourself and all that. Awak ada tanggungjawab sebenarnya. Because lagi maybe another 10-20 years saya dengan Datuk dah tak ada dah. So maybe yang the lead the line ni adalah like Liana, still young and those who are listening. Because I believe a functional punya society must be lead by this incoming punya talent lah, you guys who are stepping into the working world and all that. So that is your responsibility, because the previous generation can only do so much for you, but you yourself have to grab the opportunity and do even better. If you don't do any better, means we are not progressing lah as a society. So this is a challenge to everyone who's stepping out from the university. You must show like what you do and always do your best, because you have already, I mean, bukan semua orang dapat masuk universiti, lebih-lebih lagi this technical field. There are a lot of actually expectation being put on you. Maybe awak tak tahu. To me, I think if you realize that betapa besar awak punya tanggungjawab dan peranan awak, I think you shouldn't take it for granted lah. So when you go for the interview tu, apa nak cari kerja ke apa, don't just treat it as an interview, but treat it as an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity for you to do something, to make a difference, do something meaningful. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Czarif. Yeah, everyone perkara ni memang kadang kita ambil mudah kan, attending. As simple like attending interview. Mungkin perkara ni sebenarnya mungkin mudah untuk awak dapat interview. Tapi orang lain nak dapat call of interview tu pun sangat susah. So you have to treat apa yang peluang you dapat tu, you have to treat really best. Macam tiada peluang kedua. Macam tu. Okay, so we move to the next question. The advantage of having career that requires both broad and in-depth knowledge. Kelebihan memiliki pengetahuan yang pelbagai dalam dan mendalam dalam kerjaya. So untuk sebagai ahli akademik, macam mana pula reaksi mengenai pendapat Prof dalam soalan ni?
Ya, saya rasa bukan saja ahli akademik ya soalan ini. Soalan ini it goes across the board. Ya. Pengalaman, kepelbagaian, kebolehan, semua dia perlu, bukan saja akademik. Ya. Kalau sebagai ahli akademik, kalau dia ada pengalaman bekerja di luar, ya, macam Cik Czarif, dia kerja kat luar, kemudian dia mohon balik, satu hari nanti mana tahu contohnya dia mohon jadi pensyarah. Of course dia mempunyai kelebihan dari segi practicality, networking di luar, you know, dari situ. Tetapi having said that, tidak semestinya daripada A sampai Z jadi pensyarah pun tidak punya peluang. Jadi peluang dan ruang itu is actually depend on you. I only have 6 months only working in industry, but majority of my research fund is from industry. From big industry. Jadi it's how you maneuver, how you move forward in your career in whatever you do. And then dalam career sebagai ahli akademik, akademik ni dia bukan satu kerja tau. Dia kena buat 5 kerja atau 7 kerja, 5P kan, 7P. Saya nak buat 7 takut kena marah. Saya sebut 5P sajalah. What is that P? You kena buat pengajaran, you kena mengajar. Keluarlah saya orang Melaka. Kena mengajar. 1P je ni. Tapi awak sign kan? Terima jawatan. Okey, itu akademik. Begitu juga di luar. Masa saya terima jawatan saya sign, lepas tu tengoklah term of reference dia, kena buat. Jadi kalau kita tak buat, maknanya kita tak menjalankan amanah. Jadi untuk menjalankan amanah kita sebaik yang mungkin, itu yang soalan awak tadi tu. Kepelbagaian, pengalaman, teknik, itu diperlukan untuk memudahkan kerja yang kita nak buat. Jadi ianya satu advantage actually. Kalau boleh buat macam inilah besok tuan-tuan dan puan-puan akan berkahwin kan. Tiba-tiba lelaki macam saya dan Cik Czarif tiba-tiba bolehlah masak kari ayam. Dan itu satu kelebihan. Saya kena cakap aja sebab saya tak boleh masak. Jadi kalau suami boleh masak, itu satu kelebihan. Begitu juga kalau bekerja sebagai jurutera, sebagai pensyarah, sebagai penyelidik, kalau kita boleh buat something. Kalau penyelidik, dia boleh buat menulis dengan baik. Dia boleh menulis paper, dia menulis buku, sebagainya. Itu kan added value, kata orang Jawa. Added value. Jadi added value ini akan memberi added advantage. Orang Jawa cakap macam tu. Jadi apabila ada advantage tu nanti, insya-Allah, kalau dibuat tu kerana Tuhan untuk manusia, dia akan dikurniakan Allah rezeki yang amat murah. Allahu a'lam.
Okay, thank you Prof Datuk. It's very inspiring. Kita banyak betul lah, kerja ialah amanah. And then apa yang kadang-kadang student nampak pun, lecturer buat mengajar. Itu saja yang student nampak. Tapi sebenarnya it's more than that, okay? More research, buat management, banyak. Bukan saja mengajar. So
Tahu pun awak
Datuk.
Tahu pun.
Okay, so Mr. Czarif, macam mana pula daripada perspektif Mr. Czarif?
Since this question is on academician, I think I have a brother who is 2 years younger than me. He's a research officer. Dia memang macam Datuk lah, very passionate about his subject. I think itu yang kita mungkin tengok dia like student hanya nampak lecturer masa dia ajar subjek kat kita. Awak tak nampak waktu lain dia tengah duduk kat lab tu, tengah buat dia punya kajian semua tu. Just to test dia punya hypothesis and all that. I think salah satu karakteristik mesti ada lah if you want to become academician tu, the passion has to be there lah. You kena ada passion untuk ajar, to answer the question why. Macam saya, I am very different with my younger brother. Saya memang tak suka answer the question why. Saya suka answer the question how. I don't have to know how this theory was formed. I just want to know how I can make use of this theory aja. So I think dari dulu masa saya baru, I think during my first semester lah, saya diajar what is the difference between an engineer and a scientist lah. Dia cakap scientist answer the question why, whereas the engineer answer the question of how lah. So I think these are some of the things. That's why all the researcher macam my younger brother ni, I really respect dia lah. Sometimes dia sanggup key in the data sampai tengah malam. Dia just nak cari dia punya tu dia punya denominator tu. Dia adalah macam-macam software and all that. Then so he has been doing it his whole life lah. He's a top student. Actually he got a scholarship from Petronas to further his studies and all that. But dia tetap pilih apa yang dia nak. Dia nak buat gerontology, it means the study of human aging. So Petronas sanggup suruh dia ambil kerana Petronas punya scholarship only for technical studies. So gerontology is not one of the list. So tapi dia tetap pilih juga. So he give up the Petronas punya scholarship lah. I still remember when I go back to we are from the same high school, English College in Johor Bahru. So my teacher actually told me next time you tell your brother if you don't want that scholarship, cakap awal-awal dia nak bagi kepada student yang lain. So I mean the passion has to be there lah to become a academician, because memang you have to cover a lot of areas lah, and then you must have passion to actually know more about the subject and know more in depth about the subject. You have to think about things that yang kita macam biasa kita tak akan fikir sampai tahap tu lah. Kita just ini air saya minum je, tapi saya tak payah fikir yang benda lain. Contohlah macam tu. Thank you.
Alright, okay. So kita nampak dua pendapat yang berbeza daripada ahli akademik dan juga someone working in industry. Okay. So I think let's move to next question, which is the diversity of educational backgrounds enables the organisation leadership characteristic to be enhanced. Kepelbagaian latar belakang pendidikan memperkasakan atribut kepimpinan dalam organisasi. So maybe kita boleh nampak perbezaan daripada pelbagai jenis graduan degree, master or maybe PhD. So macam manakah boleh kita nampak tak kepelbagaian ni dalam organisation leadership? Maybe kita boleh mulakan dengan Cik Czarif dulu.
Okay, thank you Liana. Memang saya pressure ni kena cakap lepas Datuk, kerana Datuk akan mention dulu semua. But okay, since this one, I think you're talking about an organisation, right? Typically an organisation, you have a different department, different division. So probably this question is talking about different discipline lah. When I joined back the service, I was very fortunate. I was sent to Japan lah to study to become a business counselor under the Japan punya system, the Shindan system, Shindanshi. Dia business counselor Japan ni. So we learn the basic lah about a company. So in a company, typically dia cakap dia lukis macam satu manusia, ada kepala yang kita selalu main tu, hangman tu, kepala bulat, lepas tu badan, 2 kaki dan 2 tangan. So I just share with you lah. To the Japanese, dia punya filosofi, kepala tu adalah management. So any company, any organisation, awak kena ada management, kepala tu. Management punya key function adalah strategic direction, where you want to be in 3 years time, 5 years time. In crisis, what drastic action you need to take, itu kepala. Tangan kiri dan tangan kanan merupakan satu side adalah production atau services that you provide, production. And then tangan kiri adalah sales and marketing. So macam ni 2 tangan kan. I don't know where you can see the hand. So this hand is production or services. This hand is sales and marketing. Okay. So nampak dah. Just these 3 dah. 3 different discipline. Lepas tu 2 kaki tu dia cakap satu kaki represent finance. Satu kaki represent HR. So definitely any organisation for you to function well, you need to have all these elements sitting within the organisation. Then only you complete lah. Then you can only make a very inclusive punya decision, well-rounded punya decision and informed decision lah. Because business decision dari besar sampai kecil tiap-tiap hari ada 1001 decision you need to make. And then for SME selalunya itu yang menyukakan lah. Kerana selalunya SME dia tak ramai orang. Bos juga yang adalah operator. Kadang-kala dia tak boleh fikir daripada sudut-sudut yang 5 sudut ni. Dia mungkin fikir dari sudut sales and marketing je. Dia lupa pasal finance dia, HR dia atau production dia macam mana. So that's why a good organisation should always be balanced. Kena ada this 5 basic element. This one, ini je lah saya boleh share. Kalau nak tahu lebih lanjut, bolehlah. I think Liana also have my contacts. You all can write to me lah separately. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Czarif, for the sharing to us. In the organisation, in the industrial organisation side viewpoints. Okay, so what about your viewpoints, Prof. Datuk?
Yeah, Yana. In any organisation, be it in academics, organisation, in industry, whatever, I always quote this. Yeah? If you want to walk far, if you want to walk fast, you can walk alone. But if you want to walk far, you need to walk in a group. The either African or Chinese proverbs. Apa maksudnya? Kalau kita buat kerja seseorang, memang kita cepat, Bob. Tapi kita tak dapat capai benda yang berimpak dan lebih besar. Tak tu je lah. Kan? Pasal tu Cik Zarif cakap tadi SME, sebab dia kecil, dia tidak ada elemen, 5 elemen penting ni tadi. Pasal tu di dalam masa kita belajar dulu, syarah kita bagi kerja kan, assignment kadang dalam grup yang besar kan, assignment grup. Jadi apabila grup bekerja, berfikir, besarlah bendanya. Kan? Begitu juga dalam organisasi yang besar. Dia ada manager itu, manager ini, macam-macam manager dia. Kan? Dia ada director itu, director ini. So, bila dia bermesyuarat, mesyuarat itu, dia bagilah idea. Dan idea itu besar. That's why, syarikat yang besar ni dia bergerak jauh. Syarikat yang kecil, sebab dia 5 elemen yang Cik Zarif cakap tu, dia kurang. Jadi pergerakan dia terbatas. Mungkin dia cepat tapi tak kat tu je lah. Dia cepat bisa sampai situ je. Tapi tak boleh jauh. Jadi ini penting. Begitu juga dalam universiti. Universiti kalau kat UTM ni kami ada hampir 5,000 orang staff. 1,600 dekat 1,700 orang pensyarah saja. Bayangkan. Kita nak kena tengok pembangunan fizikal. Kita nak tengok pembangunan pelajar, staff. Kita nak jana pendapatan. Kita tengok bidang akademik, research, consultancy. Segala macam. masyarakat. Sekarang ni pula kena ada living lab dengan industri pula. Jadi universiti ni dia bukan kalau corporate, kerja dia investment buat duit. Kat universiti ni silap-silap nak naik pangkat ni, paper berapa ada? Student berapa dah graduate? Aduh ya. Research grant berapa? Aduh. Kan? Pasal tu orang kena tengok. Kalau nak sesuatu pekerjaan tu dapat nampak impak besar dan hasilnya besar, dia kena bekerja dalam satu ekosistem group. Bukan duduk termenung seorang-seorang dalam bilik, lepas tu tension seorang-seorang. Lepas tu menjerit seorang-seorang. Tak boleh lah macam tu. So, itulah jawapan saya. Bekerja dalam satu grup ni, kata dalam Islam berjamaah. Pahala dia pun 27 kali ganda. Kenapa tak ikut? Contohnya, ni academician lah, academician. Dulu-dululah kan, alhamdulillah sekarang mungkin. Oh, ini area aku tahu. Engkau jangan masuk. Wah, dia area dia. Saya masa saya balik tu, saya tulis lah. Saya tulis email. Apa ada pada gelaran. Kalau dapat PhD, Cik Czarif tak panggil doktor, dia tengok awak atas bawah je. Dulu-dulu. Kalau Dr. Czarif tak panggil doktor, aduh, dijeling. Pecah cing mata. Dulu. Kan? Bila saya balik selepas saya kata, apa ada pergelaran? Saya boleh tengok atas bawah. Dululah. Sekarang tak ada. Sekarang Alhamdulillah, perkara tu tak berlaku. Jadi gelaran apa semua tidak menjadi satu isu besar. Tetapi apa yang kita kata adalah bekerja dalam satu kumpulan. Kita berjamaah, kita mengikut sunnah. Kalaulah kita bekerja tak ikut apa yang kita percaya, kata orang Jawa, susahlah sikit nak percaya.
Alright. Okay. So, betul je. Kita ni memang actually kena kerja dalam group. You pergi mana mana pun memang akan ada, you have to interact with people. Dan itu pun boleh kita jadikan one of the skills yang perlulah untuk para graduate. One of the important skill which is people management and how you want to manage people. Yeah. Okay, so kita move kepada soalan seterusnya. Students and identity. To what extent can one develop a valuable character as an academic and entrepreneur? Soalan ni macam sangat berkait lah dengan yang earlier tadi kita cakap, Prof Datuk pun ada cakap pasal jati diri kan. Mahasiswa dan jati diri sejauh mana boleh membina karakter yang cemerlang untuk industri dan ahli akademik as an academia. Okay, so maybe Prof Datuk, maybe you can.
Alhamdulillah, saya suka lah soalan yang melibatkan jati diri ni sebab masa saya belajar mungkin Cik Czarif dulu, cikgu, pensyarah kita, cara tak langsung amat menekankan jati diri. Kita kena kenal diri kita, family kita, asal-usul kita, ya. Dan pada saya lah, kita ni tak kisah daripada mana, dekat mana kita bermula. Ya, saya pun orang kampung. Ya. Bahasa Inggeris saya pun, saya sedih lah dulu tak dapat masuk sekolah menengah sains sebab bahasa Inggeris saya tak kredit. Saya pergi sekolah menengah teknik Melaka. Sebulan tak boykot kelas, kena panggil cikgu. Cikgu panggil ayah. Kenapalah anak encik ni tak datang kelas? Macam tu sekali ya. So apabila cikgu-cikgu saya memberi motivasi kepada saya, apa dia kata, apa yang dah berlaku tu Fauzi, biarlah. Yang penting is masa hadapan ni. Saya nak cerita ni, saya tak malu. Tapi saya tulis buku bahasa Inggeris, Liana. Orang bahasa Inggeris dah nak fail, tapi tulis buku bahasa Inggeris. Kata orang Jawa, engkau ada? Saya juga gurau-gurau tau. Saya gurau-gurau petang-petang ni jangan tension sangat. Apa ni, stress sangat, serius sangat, nanti susah kita. So apa yang saya nak cakap ini, itu adalah yang saya kata jati diri. Yang penting kita jangan lupa. Ya, nauzubillah, saya pernah juga ternampak, tapi alhamdulillah tak ramai lah, lupa asal usul kita, family, keluarga kita, adik-beradik kita. Itu jati diri. Benda tu kan Allah macam dah bagi tau. Dia tengok muka Liana, oh orang ni family oriented. Itu jati diri. Apabila dia bercakap pun kita tahu, walaupun saya ni macam puaka sikit mulut, tapi orang Melaka ni hati dia penuh jiwa, penuh dengan bunga. Dia tahu. Orang tahu apa saya cakap ini ikhlas. Ya, saya bercakap dengan ikhlas. Memang cara saya macam ni. Nampak macam kasar, biasa Melaka kan. Kan? Tapi perkataan Huawei tu tak keluar lah. Faham kan? Jadi maknanya di sini jati diri ni apabila berlaku bila tahu? Bila contoh Cik Czarif interview awak Liana, dia nampak terus jati diri awak. Permulaan bercakap awak, membawakan diri awak, you know? Orang boleh nampak. Saya belajar NLP ya, Neuro Linguistic Programming. Saya tahu pergerakan mata you, insya-Allah saya tahu awak ni suka apa. Buah betik ke buah tembaga? Bom tak? Buah mentega. Kena belajar. Ini semuanya akan terserlah. Macam orang Islam lah, kalau orang tu semain tak tinggal, kita nampak, oh, tengok muka tahu. Jadi ininya, bila kita ada ciri-ciri ni, bila kita masuk bekerja, tak kisah di mana, secara automatik, you akan dapat menarik minat orang lain untuk bekerjasama, dan disitulah bermulanya kerja yang berimpak kepada semua orang di luar sana. Ya, insya-Allah. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you Prof Datuk. So kita sekarang nak dengar pula daripada Cik Czarif sendiri, macam mana pula to answer this question about students and jati diri, pelajar dan jati diri. Okay.
I think that is I think earlier also we have covered a bit the attitude and the aptitude part. So this is more on jati diri lah, the attitude of someone. Like what the Datuk has mentioned, Prof Datuk has mentioned that sebenarnya when we talk to anyone and all that, you cannot avoid that. Manusia ni memang kita suka berkomunikasi lah. You cannot avoid that. When you talk to someone, the way you carry yourself, how you behave, and then the reasoning, the way you think through about any questions, the way you answer and all that, actually it will reflect who you are. It will reflect who you are, and this one usually susah lah nak tipu. That's why sampai hari ni pun I think saya old school sikit saya memang saya perlu that interview yang face to face tu, because cakap tu maksud dia sampai 20% saja, lagi 80% adalah daripada body language seseorang. So macam I am sure Prof Datuk punya experience pun kadang-kadang kita tengok dia cara dia punya body language, cara dia jawab tu kita sudah tahu dah macam mana. Yang macam kita sitting on the other side of the table, sebenarnya for us your result and all that, your achievement today and all that is good, but we also want to have a good person, seorang yang ada integrity yang tinggi, seorang yang boleh withstand the pressure, jangan sikit je ada sikit challenging je, menghadapi sikit masalah terus give up. Kita pun tak nak macam tu, but how do you want to judge a person during the very short interview session? So my experience, I can just share with you what is my experience with all the graduates di sini. Actually, your character has been formed lah over the years. When you are in school time and all that, sifat-sifat moody ni atau the character ni, sebenarnya a lot of people say start from home lah. But I believe it's still not too late to do something about it. You have to be, number one, you have to be very honest with yourself. Kena jujur. Okay, who yourself, and you need to recognize which area you need to improve. Because especially macam Prof Datuk, macam senior-senior saya, kadang-kala awak belum jawab dia sudah tahu dah awak punya reaction macam mana and how you gonna handle certain situation. Kerana dia sudah tengok kita lama dah. Dia study kita punya karakter. So during the interview session, kadang-kala kita suka tanya soalan dan kita tak tanya akademik semua. When you submit, kita dah nampak dalam form. So tapi kita suka tanya, usually please share with me a typical day in the university from morning until night. What do you do? Kita tanya macam tu. Satu soalan yang maybe tak ada to you maybe taklah critical sangat. Tapi from how you answer, then kita boleh give us a little bit of insight of who you are. Kalau awak cakap, oh saya bangun, saya sembahyang subuh dulu pukul 5, lepas tu saya makan breakfast, lepas tu saya terus prepare untuk nak pergi ke kuliah, lepas tu petang saya pergi bersukan. Let's say if you answer that way, then straight away we know, oh yang ini adalah seorang yang disiplin, contoh. Dan yang ni dia prepare and then they do things seriously. Kalau yang tak boleh nak jawab, dia macam pun, oh saya buat apa satu typical hari Isnin ke Selasa. Dia kadang-kadang akan tanya, you nak hari apa? Dia tanya balik macam tu. So that will give us a little bit of insights of your character lah. Yang tu. And then of course lagi satu is the favorite question lah. We always ask you, please tell us your biggest failure or tell us your biggest success lah. Share with us. Because from there we want to gauge your attitude and how you can handle things lah. Because believe you and me, human talent ni, manusia ni adalah aset yang paling penting dalam mana-mana syarikat. And definitely we want the best talent available in the market. So if you can convince the person who conduct the interview that you have a lot of potential and you have the right character. In fact, sometimes result tak begitu bagus pun kita willing to take a bet on you. We willing to give you an opportunity so that you can prove yourself. Thank you.
Right, thank you Mr. Czarif. So basically, semua orang ada peluang. Semua orang ada peluang untuk mendapatkan kerja. Semua orang ada peluang untuk mendapatkan a call of interviews. So you guys please don't give up too early, okay? Okay, kita teruskan lagi dengan soalan yang seterusnya, iaitu the World Economic Forum, WEF 10 top skill. Antaranya analytical thinking, innovation, complex problem solving, all of that. Adakah daripada perspektif industri sendiri dan juga di akademia, bagaimanakah skill set ini bersesuaian dengan maafkan saya. Okey, saya rasa saya dah lebih setengah jam baru nak nervous ya. Okay. So 10 top skill ni pada perspektif industri dan akademia sendiri, di Malaysia apakah skill set ini yang disarankan WEF ini sejajar dengan industri dan also akademi di Malaysia? Okay. So I pass to Prof Datuk first.
Yeah, I concur with WEF. Yeah? Sama ada 10 skill ni ke, top skill ke, whatever skill it is, but it boils down into apa-apa lah di nama selepas tu kan. Tetapi kita harus be ourselves, believe in ourselves, believe in what we believe in, and then bila kita mula bekerja, yang penting adalah kita kena belajar bersabar, belajar understanding. Passion and understanding. Ini yang susah ni. Dia je betul. dia je betul. Pasal apa? Aku dapat degree daripada top 10 university in Europe. Aduh. Dan saya mula cakap lah, saya ber-UTM. 2 degree saya ber-UTM. Okay, whatever skill it is, bila kita mula menapak di alam pekerjaan, sama ada di industri atau di academics field, whatever field, understanding is very important. Maknanya kita kena ada humanity, kena ada. Dan bukan nak kata nombor satu, nombor berapa lah, saya tak kisahlah. Communication skill. Ini juga perlu kita sharpen. Ya. Especially apabila kita bekerja dalam berkumpulan tu tadi. Industri biasanya berkumpulan. Kebiasaannya. Meeting dia, lead by manager, lead by director. Kita duduk termenung, tanya, any idea? Senyap aja. Tak boleh lah. Whatever it is, pada saya, kita kena jaga diri kita. Kita kena jati diri berbalik pada itu dan ditambah sikit lah ya. Apalah, analytical skill, thinking, all these skill, nama zaman moden ni je. Zaman Nabi kita tu, tak ada pun analytical apa semua tu. Ya? Believe in what believe in. We must believe in what we believe in. That's number one. Ya, lepas tu kita kena ada humanity skill lah, passion, kita ada understanding dan communication skill. Of course lah kita kena ada qualification yang bersesuaian. Ya, and I agree dengan Cik Czarif, you don't need to be always first class. First class je kita ambil. Pada saya lah, not necessary. Ya, not necessary. Kan? Itu saja saya nak. Ini the required skill yang penting. Of course lah apa-apa yang disebut dengan tu, 10 tu. Communication, kita kena bersabar, understanding dan of course lah bersesuaian dengan bidang kerja kita. Dan again, kalau kita ada jati diri Liana, kok mana pun, seat ni kita baling kok mana dia akan jadi pulang. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, thank you Datuk, Prof Datuk. I think response daripada Prof Datuk might open many of eyes from our viewer. Okay, so kita nak dengar pula daripada Mr. Czarif sendiri, macam mana pula perspektif industri regarding this top 10 skill of WEF.
Okay, I think whatever the WEF list down the top 10 skill ni, Malaysia is part of it lah. Kerana survey tu was conducted worldwide. We are also part of the World Economic Forum. The beauty about it is kita ni manusia ni, kita boleh belajar sampai bila-bila. So if you read through that is the top 10 skill, you go through the list, you feel that your current job or maybe the job you wanted to do will require you to have that particular 2 or 3 skill, you can always learn and sharpen it lah. Sekarang ni zaman internet ni dia tak macam dulu. Kadang-kala people much younger than you, dia because the way he collect the information and all that, maybe through internet, he could actually be have more this information or even this knowledge than someone who maybe not focus on that area, because cara dia absorb the knowledge and the information tu dah lain dah. So I think when come to this WEF top 10 skill tu, it's good to understand it and then apply it to your current situation, and don't worry, you can definitely learn and pick it up anytime you want. Cuma you need to put in the effort and be prepared lah. So sama macam Datuk juga, ini macam sesi angkat diri ya, universiti di Malaysia. Saya pun dari sekolah rendah sampai universiti semua di lokal sahaja. Sekolah rendah jenis kebangsaan Cina, lepas tu sekolah kebangsaan menengah, lepas tu UPM. Dan saya hanya dapat MBA saya sebenarnya just 2 years ago. Saya baru dapat sahaja. Baru sempatlah dapat simpan sikit duit, ada masa boleh pergi buat saya punya MBA. So we can always learn. The day you stop learning, I ingat lagi my high school, saya punya cikgu kat sekolah menengah, dia cakap the day you stop learning is the day you die. Masa awak dah 6 feet under. So manusia ni yang kita punya istimewa adalah kita sentiasa boleh belajar. So don't worry too much about that top 10 skill and all that. Actually as long as we have the willingness to learn, then jati diri macam Datuk cakap, the sifat-sifat. Actually all since young kita dah diajar dah from our parents, our older generation that has passed down. To be honest, all this basic punya value ni actually sama je. It's just that dia ada sikit specialization lah, macam analytic skill ni jadi ada kerana ada komputer lah ni. So semua kena buat analytic skill, Excel sheet tu kena pusing 10 kali macam tu untuk cari dia punya denominators and all that. But all this can always be learned lah, kerana after all manusia yang created that computer. So I think having the data analytics and all this skill is good, but I think when you come out and start working, step out from the university, ada satu skill yang awak tak boleh belajar di textbook atau di komputer ke apa, adalah wisdom lah. I think everybody, I think maybe university pun sudah belajar ya, the DISW model tu. Wisdom, knowledge, data, information, DIKW. So actually wisdom is the top. Wisdom tu banyak diajar actually Datuk dalam kita punya agama pun sudah ajar kita dah. Kadang-kala orang-orang tua kita tanya pandangan dia, walaupun dia bukan subject matter expert, dia boleh bagi kita satu penyelesaian yang cukup sempurna kerana dia ada wisdom. So wisdom is bigger than knowledge, knowledge is bigger than information, and information is bigger than data. So zaman internet ni yang terlalu banyak data and information yang kita dapat at the hand tu, kadang-kala kita terlepas pandang part yang knowledge and wisdom ni lah. So harap-harap all our university student ni, you already have the knowledge, so you need to acquire wisdom lah, and this one usually you need to do it through experience lah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Mr. Czarif. That was very informative to be known by us, yeah. So we move to next question, which may be our last question for forum. We still have Q&A session. Okay. So our last question for forum session. Post COVID-19, how do industry and academia respond? And what are the reality and preparation should students make to adapt for the changes of the world of career? Daripada Prof Datuk sendiri, macam mana?
Yeah, pandemic COVID-19 ni struck us with a lot of difficulties. But after almost 2 years, 1 year plus, almost 2 years, I urge everyone to have a positive thinking. The entire world already expect that this pandemic going to be with us for many years to come, macam dengue gitu kan. Jadi we need to be ever ready to face this. Let's say di Malaysia, apabila diumumkan oleh pihak kerajaan melalui MKN dan KKM, katakanlah fasa pemulihan sudah selesai, even that we need to be very careful. Begitu juga di peringkat industri dan juga akademiknya. Apa yang berlaku, in fact sekarang pun pihak KPT telah banyak membuat inisiatif bersama dengan industri. Macam Prof Sarudin cakap tadi, bencana KPT Cap membantu para graduan. The industry also play a very important role to support the government initiative, rescaling, upscaling para pelajar yang dah graduan. Dan I think if the collaboration, cooperation among industri dan akademia itu berterusan di zaman post-pandemic COVID-19 ini, I am confident insyaAllah kita, especially in Malaysia, can kalau tidak secara menyeluruh, secara total, can handle and can cope with this pandemic. Yeah? Dan Industry 4.0 going to be with us and going to be upgraded probably 5.0 or 6.0 in the near future. Jadi dalam keadaan sekarang, para pelajar akademia juga harus sentiasa upgrade their knowledge and their skill on this 4.0, now probably 5.0 in the near future, or probably 6.0. Some have been, even moved into 6.0. As mentioned by Cik Czarif, ini is benda yang kita boleh belajar, we can learn, right? As long as we have this in our mind that all these skills can be learned, and we are most willing to learn and most willing to upgrade our skill set, competency, I don't think so it's going to be a problem. Kecuali orang tu memang jenis berbau. Business as usual. Dia tak nak buat dah. Yang itu memang ke laut lah, ke parit lah. Kan banyak parit kan dekat UTHM tu. Macam-macam parit dia, parit kotak dia. Ya nak? Ada tak? Parit botak ada tak?
Ada, parit botak. Kita UTHM parit raja.
Raja, oh kayangan. Okeylah, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Prof Datuk. Saya pun tak expect the responses like that. Okay, so untuk daripada Cik Czarif sendiri, macam mana? How do industry respond with this post-pandemic?
Thank you. I think definitely economic is gonna recover lah, because now we are at a very low base. So next year we're gonna recover lah. Of course, there are always challenges and difficulties that we will face lah along the way. But like what Prof Datuk had mentioned, we have to remain confident and positive with the outlook, especially these graduates ni yang akan step into the job market or even start your own businesses. You know why? Because this pandemic has actually kind of do a soft reset on the current economic model of every country in the world, including Malaysia. For example, we can see masing-masing semua negara dia punya export semua turun. You know why? Because everybody focus on their local consumption dulu. And then they also shut down the border and all that semua. So a lot of this MNC sebelum ni dia import daripada luar negara, dia sekarang nak cari daripada dalam Malaysia. Dia nak cari orang yang buat, dan bukan itu saja, dia sanggup to co-invest and tunggu supaya locally it can be become their supply chain lah. So dia offer a lot of opportunity to everyone actually, especially among the SMEs. And then frankly, if as you are stepping out from the university, you have a very big advantage compared to those already in the job market lah. Nombor satu, awak tahu apa tu Instagram, awak tahu apa tu TikTok, awak tahu apa tu social media. You are more savvy in terms of digital, in terms of gadgets and all that compared to the previous generation. And then secondly, you are young, you're more energetic, and definitely you have more potential. So I think as graduate about to step into the work market, I think you should be confident, and you must be confident, because you get so much more that you have experienced so much more than the previous generation before you. But my advice is make full use of what you have. Kalau ada handheld device tu, kalau hanya asyik main game saja, then tak pergi mana lah, main Candy Crush semua. Do you know that Candy Crush is a big economy? That the founder actually sold that business, I think 500 billion ke 500 million. To me is unthinkable to the previous generation. So Candy Crush tu is a game on a mobile device. Tapi syarikat tu boleh jual 500 juta. Actually back in those days, kalau cakap the generation before us, dia cakap ini bazir masa je, ini game, mengapa bazir masa pergi create satu game, tapi dia boleh jual 500 juta. So I think for this upcoming punya generation, you have a lot of opportunity because of internet and globalization. Your market is no longer just Malaysia. Your market is actually the region, the ASEAN region, the entire world. So you have to be confident and always do your best in whatever you want to do. For your information, I want to share with you lah. This our experience real life. Semua masing-masing semua mesti sudah guna Grab lah kot. Untuk order makanan, nak pergi mana semua guna Grab kan. Do you know that the founder of Grab is a Malaysian and it started off as a Malaysian company? Nama syarikat tu adalah My Taxi. My tu bukan saya, My tu Malaysia. App tu was developed for Malaysian taxi driver kerana masa tu founder dia nampak taxi kita masih guna the walkie-talkie system, calling system. Dia cakap tak utilize the mobile network and all the internet of things. So he brought it back and that is how they started. So sekarang you tengok dia Uber dulu pada satu ketika Uber ada dalam Malaysia, Uber pun sudah give up. Dia sell his business to Grab in exchange of share in Grab company. Company tu dia in exchange of share. So actually means basically dia tahu dia tak boleh lawan lah. Ini syarikat Malaysia ni, the two founder is very young. I think about 10 years younger than me, Anthony Tan and Tan Hui Ling. I met them personally when they just come back from Harvard Business School. Masa tu dia ada satu business proposal je. But look at them now. I think cuma you nak call dia Malaysian company tu susah sikit lah kerana HQ dia ada kat Singapore. Singapore have a more robust tech ecosystem for startup company such as them lah. So but like I said, you cannot change the fact ini memang pernah berlaku and I'm one of the few lucky one who met them in person when they just started. So in a very short time dia sudah jadi a giant dah. They call it unicorn and all that. So it actually from Malaysia and then others one as usual lah. Kita ni science and technology kan, kita tahu kan actually pen drive was designed by a Malaysian ya. Pen drive, flash memory punya concept tu. Yeah. It's also Malaysian. So I think I'm like Datuk. I'm very optimistic. Actually, this pandemic have given us more opportunities, especially for youth who just finish your study. Go for it. Go for it. And you are young. If you fail, doesn't mean you fail forever. You can always stand up again. And the best part about being young is you have the time lah. Time is on your side. Doesn't mean that when you success only then you learn. When you fail also you learn a lot. So my advice is always go for it. Do your best in whatever you choose to do, and then insyaAllah macam tadi ada cakap lah, murah rezeki nanti. Yeah. I think Malaysia ada memang banyak talent in our human capital. We can speak. Everyone can speak basically 2 language, some 3, some 4. Even Liana tadi ada cakap Mandarin, terkejut saya sekejap. So I pernah jumpa real life Australian businessman tell me he cannot do business in China, but he can do business in China if he goes through Malaysia businessman. Memang real life. Dia cakap kalau dia go direct to China, dia cakap dengan businessman in China dia tak faham. Each of them they maybe of their cultural background or the language or whatever, they don't understand each other. But if they have a Malaysian partner, they can do business in China because the Malaysian partner understand what the Australian businessman want. And they also understand what the businessman in China wants. So they can be a platform. So all this while Melaka ni, itulah sebelum Singapore ada ni sebenarnya the port yang paling busy tu di Selat Melaka tau, bukan di Singapore. Itulah sejarah dia. So I think we are very blessed country, a lot of resources. Tapi resources yang paling berharga sekarang is our people lah. Our human capital, our human talent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chai, for the response. And yeah, graduates, people, umur itu bukan penghalang untuk you all. You all nak sambung belajar, you all nak cari ilmu, nak cari kerja, nak tukar bidang kerja. It's up to you. The decision is yours. Okay, So kita sekarang mulakan dengan sesi Q&A. Kita akan bacakan beberapa soalan daripada YouTube. Please wait for a while. Okay, let me see. Manakah soalan pertama yang bertuah? Okay, daripada Azhan Ustaz, soalan saya kepada Datuk VC, adakah kebolepasaran graduan PhD di sesebuah universiti diutamakan jika terdapat kekosongan jawatan di universiti tersebut sebagai pensyarah? Okay, soalan panas ya?
Ya, memang betul. Kami akan sentiasa mempertimbangkan, tetapi kena sedikit. Sebab kami semua universiti, bukan sahaja di UTM, semua universiti, kami mempunyai semua macam contoh bidang kejuruteraan mekanikal. Okey, dia punya pengambilan, kota pengambilan berapa pelajar yang boleh diambil untuk sebagainya. Katakan pelajar diambil 100 orang untuk satu kursus kejuruteraan mekanikal pembuatan contoh. Ya, 100 orang. Kejuruteraan apa-apalah mekanikal lain pula. Jadi kalau 100 orang, dia reflect kepada number of pensyarah yang boleh kita employ to serve this. Ini kan 100 ini next semester dia pergi lagi kan. Jadi number of pensyarah tu kita dah design. Gitu. Kecuali kita dapat arahan tingkatkan pengambilan. Jadi 300. Masa tu kita ambil. Jadi ini juga bergantung kepada dipanggil warrant daripada pihak CPA. Jadi dia ada beberapa kursus ya yang selalunya kekurangan pensyarah, iaitu kursus profesional macam arkitek, QS, petroleum engineering. Ini sebab apa? Mereka ni graduannya terus kerja. Graduan dah kena kidnap. Habis. Ya. Jadi dia ada certain universiti memang ada area dia. Jadi di Universiti UTM ni ada certain kursus macam itu. Jadi kalau siapa yang mohon, rezeki dia ada lah. Tapi kalau permohonan tu kena kursus yang memang popular, kursus popular maksudnya pensyarah pun ramai, pelajar pun ramai. Kecuali pencen. Pencen kita tambah. Jadi kalau di tempat kami memang kami utamakan orang yang dah ada PhD. Saya rasa semua universiti. Kalau pensyarah dia kena ada PhD. Ya. Itu saja menjawab soalan ni.
Okay, thank you Datuk. So we move to next question. Daripada Aisyah, what is the industry's view if a person with academic research background, master or PhD, but no working experience is asking for work? Okay, soalan ni pun sangat hangat dia, because most of the, kalau kita tengok situasi sekarang ni, trend dia habis degree sambung master, sambung PhD. Okay, so kita nak dengar daripada pihak Cik Chai macam mana?
Okay, if you have academic research background, anyway academic salah spelling ya. With no working experience is asking for work. Depends on the work you are looking for lah. If it's entry level punya work, our worries is actually from the orang yang nak hire awak, because if it's an entry level work, if you already have a master and PhD, kita akan tanyalah ada awak sanggup start at the entry level. Kita akan tanya tu, because to the industry, usually kalau awak sudah ada PhD means you are very specific lah in your studies, and usually you will focus on doing research and development, where you can contribute in a much or give a higher impact lah to the this especially from the academic point of view lah. But we don't mind if you want to come in to have industry experience, but really depends on the work that you ask lah. If let's say is a big company and they have a R&D department and you're asking for a post there, definitely we welcome. In fact, we want those with academic research background. Tapi sekiranya is just entry level, just buat sales and marketing contohnya. So if you have this master in PhD, maybe it will help, but we also we want to look for someone with experience in sales and marketing lah. Macam tu, very much depends on what kind of work you are looking for. So to me, if you already have a master and PhD, like I said, human is flexible, and then really depends on what you want lah. Sebenarnya passion awak kat mana, and then I believe everyone can adapt lah. If you can convince the interviewer or the panels that your passion is in that field, so and you're willing to work hard for it and show your best and always do your best, I think what qualification you have, even those yang tak ada qualification pun, we are willing to give them a chance. That is what I heard from all the bosses, all the industry. Mereka selalu complain, ada degree tapi dia tak boleh dapat seseorang yang dia nak. Sebenarnya dia tengah cakap pasal attitude lah, the attitude and the aptitude. So I think don't be too jangan terlalu rigid lah and concerned about all these things. Yang penting ni, when you ask for work, is that work you feel that you can contribute to it, and it also you feel passionate about it lah. Do your study and preparation beforehand. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Czarif. As what have been said earlier, memang apa yang penting, you have to be positive, okay? So daripada masih, antara keutamaan keperluan pasaran kerja dan modal insan selain teknologi dan management, adakah psikologi juga satu keberhasilan dalam membina seorang tenaga kerja yang berjaya dan menurut kehendak? So I think this can be answered by both Prof Datuk and also Cik Czarif ni. Maybe we can start with Prof Datuk first.
Yeah. Psikologi ni is another skill yang amat diperlukan, especially apabila kita menjawat jawatan yang agak tinggi. Jadi manager, pengurus dan above lah ya. Jadi kita kena ada kebolehan lah, saya tak katakan pakar, kebolehan untuk adapt dan adopt sedikit psikologi ke aspek supaya ini memudahkan, memberikan kita kelebihan ya, untuk kita berkomunikasi dengan para staff kita, untuk kita menyelesaikan permasalahan jika ada, dan juga untuk kita mempunyai daya saing. Apabila suatu hari nanti kalau kita ada rezeki, kita mendapat rezeki untuk dipromot, jadi the psychological aspect ini ya adalah memainkan peranan sedikit juga untuk penting ya, untuk memberikan kita value added itu tadilah. Kalau tidak sebelum jadi pekerja, staff, kemudian naik manager pun ada juga ni, ditengok juga ni. Macam tadi Cik Czarif kata, dia tahu dah dari segi, dia tengok muka kita, cara kita menjawab, itu pun sebenarnya psychological aspect itu. Ya? Apatah lagi kalau menjawab jawatan sampai pengarah, director, manager, ini skill yang perlu. Kadang-kadang benda ni tak perlulah masuk skop kelas psikologi semua kan. Tetapi ini adalah kelebihan apabila kita pandai berkomunikasi. Apabila kita pandai ataupun kita ni ada sedikit jati diri. Dia datang sendiri. Orang dulu mana masuk kelas psikologi? Ya. Tetapi apabila benda ini kita dijadikan sebagai satu aspek ya, keberhasilan tu nanti, maka ianya menjadi value add kepada staf tertentu. Itu saja.
Okey, saya nak dengar pula. Mungkin kita pun, viewers pun nak dengar daripada Cik Czarif sendiri macam mana your response?
So I don't think we have to study psychology ya. I think biarlah yang itu doktor perubatan tu yang belajar. To us, we just want to make sure we get a normal person lah. from the industry point of view. So kadang-kala dia ada MNC, dia ada suruh awak buat psychometric chart.
Yeah.
Bukan nak labelkan awak, oh ini memang ada potensi untuk berjaya tinggi, ini potensi untuk berjaya rendah, tak ada ya. Psychometric chart tu dia cuma nak memahami awak lebih, bagi dia some guidance lah. Kerana macam kita ada, mereka kata ada orang yang very dominant, ada orang yang suka bercakap dengan orang, ada orang yang sangat careful, very teliti. So dia just nak faham tu siapa je. Selalunya dia berkait dengan jawatan yang kita offer. Contohnya katakanlah kita cari dari bahagian audit. So saya nak satu orang yang sangat teliti lah. Kita nak tengok psychometric chart dia macam mana. Kalau sales and marketing, of course kita akan tengok yang kalau dari psychometric chart tu dia is a people person, boleh cakap semua, communicate. So kita akan bagi utamaan. Tapi itu sebagai guidance saja. So psikologi tak lain macam tadilah, jati diri kita kena confident, kita kena ada positive mindset, and then we are willing to work hard and always do your best. Yang ini I think dari kecil kita pun sudah diajar dah. So as long as you know who you are and where is your strong point, and then prepare lah jawatan yang awak nak pergi tu. Sekarang ada je internet, ada psychometric punya tool semua, boleh check. So you see lah whether is it a good fit, or maybe if it's not a fit, if you can offer value during the interview, you boleh cakap walaupun saya punya psychometric tunjukkan saya seorang apa-apa-apa, tapi dari segi yang ni, these services you want to provide, maybe I can give from a different viewpoint, so to improve your product or services in the market. Kalau boleh buat macam tu, I think memang ramai, awak akan popular lah bila awak pergi interview ni. Mungkin tadi saya 5 dapat 5, awak interview 10 awak dapat 12. Okay, thank you.
Alright, thank you. So maybe our last question from the YouTube. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. May I know what is the process graduate engineer to professional engineer IR? Normally, how long time GE to IR? Wow. Okay, who's gonna answer this? I think
Okay.
Prof Datuk first.
Yeah. You have to work to get an IR. You need to work after you getting your degree. You need to work under the supervision from those who have had IR. I forgot, but probably about 3 years minimum. You need to work under the supervision. You know, then you can apply. I'm not sure now, but you need to attend some short examination, and then they're going to evaluate you. There's some interview session as well. Yeah. Or there's a few track now. You know, track, there's a normal track. You need to work first, and then you need to find your mentor with IR. You need to work under your mentor for a few years. Then you're going to get it. It's not easy though, but it's not difficult, because you need a few years to work under the mentorship of an IR.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Prof Datuk. So I think we appreciate everyone's participation in the chat box. Okay, but due to time constraints, the Q&A session will end now. But before we conclude this forum session, I'd like to invite Professor Datuk and also Mr. Czarif to offer some advice to our future graduate or our recent graduate who appear to be unsure about their choices. So, Prof Datuk, the screen is yours.
Yes. You need to, I always say this, yeah. So you need to bagi mereka yang baru bergraduan, just finish study. If you want to do anything in the future, anything, please finish what you start. Yeah. Kalau you dah mula bekerja atau nak bekerja, mohonlah. Yang mohon lepas tu buat tak tahu. Ataupun you dah mula kerja tu, finish it. Kadang-kadang kerja 6 bulan, 7 bulan, pindah satu kerja lagi, pindah lagi. Itu maknanya susah lah. Jadi yang kedua adalah kita kena bersyukur. Kita kena bersyukur in whatever condition, whatever we have had, atau kita tak dapat. Kadang-kadang Allah itu Maha Pengatur. Apa yang kita nak tak dapat, tetapi sebenarnya Allah sebenarnya protect us that one. Kalau kita mohon, berdoa dapat, itu satu kurniaan Allah. Kalau tak dapat, tidak bermaksudnya kita tidak disukai, tetapi mungkin Allah mempunyai perancangan yang lebih baik untuk kita. Jadi kita jangan sentiasa putus asa, Ini saya cakap berdasarkan kepada pengalaman saya. Apabila kita mohon sesuatu itu dapat, maka itu adalah kurnia Allah, rezeki Allah. Tetapi kalau tak dapat, kena banyak bersabar, kerana mungkin Allah protect us. Ataupun Allah mempunyai perancangan yang lebih baik untuk kita dalam di masa akan datang. Jadi, sentiasa bersyukur in whatever way. Dan itulah, do the very best. Tidak mendapat pekerjaan, tidak bermaksud kita tidak boleh buat yang terbaik. Dan jangan memilih kerja. Ingat saya pernah bekerja gaji jam, gaji harian di UTHM. Siapa sangka? Saya pun tak sangka. Tak pernah terniat nak jadi apa-apa. Tiba-tiba sekarang duduk di sini. Itu semua adalah kehendak Allah. Dan tak pernah. Saya sebenarnya cita-cita saya nak jadi doktor. Tapi Allah bagi doktor juga. Bukan doktor tengok orang. Doktor tengok membrane. Maknanya Allah punya perancangan tu. Jadi ceritanya, apabila arwah ayah saya accident, pergilah tengok. Tak boleh tengok ayah sendiri nak jadi doktor. Macam mana? Jadi tak jadi doktor, tapi Allah bagi saya doktor benda lain. Nampak? So kita kena percaya, whatever apa agama kita kena percaya. Kalau kita orang Islam, kita percaya Allah Maha Pengatur, jadi kita kena buat yang terbaik. Jangan putus asa, sentiasa berdoa supaya insya-Allah suatu masa nanti Allah akan perkasakan apa yang kita nak rasa. Insya-Allah.
Inshallah, thank you Datuk for a very beautiful advice for all of us. So now to you, Cik Czarif Shai, maybe last word.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Liana. I think I wanted to share with all the graduates lah. Actually, not necessarily you have to work with people, yeah. Actually, you can be an entrepreneur yourself. Instead of a job seeker, you can be a job provider. Awak memainkan peranan lagi besar dan lagi penting sebenarnya. Maybe in our culture, maybe it's just in the beginning lah. I think dah nampak dah ada yang graduate je, dia instead of work for people, dia nak start his own business, dah ada dah. Tapi tak adalah se-popular macam I think everybody knows lah US kan. So both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs sebenarnya mereka tak habis dia belajar kat universiti, dia sudah start buat business dah kerana dia rasa itulah dia lebih passionate about it. But like I said, don't limit yourself just to look for a job. You can actually start become a job provider, also start doing your own business. Memang kerajaan ada menyediakan banyak bantuan dan jangan risau. Memang cabaran dia lebih besar, tapi agama kita pun ada ajar kan, kalau nak kaya tu awak kena buat bisnes sebenarnya, bukan bekerja. So don't be afraid and all that. Ada banyak panduan yang sedia ada, macam di SME Corp kita pun ada program yang boleh bantu seseorang sekiranya dia nak jadi seorang usahawan. Can always come to SME Corp. Kita ada state office di semua negeri. we can give you some idea. So in fact, a lot of these bosses that we met, bila dia interview tu, kalau orang tu ada ciri-ciri entrepreneurial punya karakteristik, dia rasa itu pun satu plus point dan dia willing to take them in to become their worker, because sifat keusahawanan tu, actually if you have that sifat keusahawanan, bosses atau orang yang interview awak tu, dia akan rasa serasi dengan awak. That is our experience lah. So if you have if you want to work first to have a little bit of experience, ultimately after that you want to own your business, that is also another choice, but always do your best and then kita tak akan rugi apa-apa pun. Macam saya lah, I can only give the example of myself. Saya pun tak sangka saya sekarang serve the come back to the service ya. I was from the industry, but alhamdulillah, I think kalau kita sentiasa berusaha and always do our best, I think insyaAllah kita murah rezeki ya, ada banyak peluang macam-macam dia akan Tuhan akan tunjukkan bagi kat kita. Thank you.
Alright, insyaAllah. So thank you once more for a very informative dan sangat bermakna ya session ini untuk everyone actually. So I believe that apa yang panelis kita kongsikan pada hari ini akan menjadi beneficial lah untuk our present and also future. So Prof Datuk and also Cik Czarif, we are pleasure having you both here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, create the future while you are still have the opportunity. So that marks the end of our forum session. I would like to apologize if we have made any mistakes throughout the event. I'm Nurliana Abdurrahim, and my duty for hosting today's forum session with thank you. Back to you, Mr. Shahid Anwar.
Okay, thank you very much to our Miss Moderator, Miss Nurliana Abdurrahim, for conducting an eye-opener webinar forum session today. Our special credits to our respected panelists for today, Professor Datuk Teknologi Dr. Ahmad Fauzi Ismail and Mr. Czarif Abdullah for their wise discussion on today's topic. Thank you everyone for attending our webinar, Odyssey 101 Graduates, What's Next? Our organizing committee already blast the attendance form link at the YouTube live chat box. Once you click the link, you will receive a survey on the presentation today, and we will appreciate if you could complete that and provide your feedback for today's webinar session. You will also receive a follow-up email within 34 hours with an e-certificate of the attendance. And also there is no recording video for today's webinar because you can view this live session again at our YouTube channel, UTHM TV. Don't forget to subscribe our channel so that you may watch all our past webinar sessions conducted by UTHM. Once again, on behalf of the organizing committee and our presenters, thank you for joining us today and have a great rest of your day. See you at our next webinar. Sekian wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.